like to welcome all of you to the March 19th regular college school board meeting. It is now 6:08. We ran a little long upstairs with our hero and heroism ceremony, but it was good seeing David Sims. I had the pleasure, I think it was last week before, to go and sit and listen to Nick Saban. He came to town and sit there and listen to him, and he talked about leadership, of what it takes to be a leader. And he talked about it on the coaching aspect, and he talked about it on him being as a person. And one thing he said is, don't accept being average. And so I started thinking about it with him in coaching and what he did, what he accomplished. And I started thinking about it in my personal life, and I started thinking about my business. Do I want my business to be average? Do I want somebody to look back and say, you know, Kevin built me an average building? No. Do I want average people around me? No. I want ones that strive to be the best that they can be. And so that brought it to education side of it. Are we happy with trying to be average? Do we want to be average? Because you see, average is easy. And he went on and he talked about team. There's no I in team, is it? But there is an I in win. If we want our district to succeed, it's going to start with each and every one in this room. I look out here now and I see a lot of our principals. Most of our principals are sitting here. All of our cabinet members are sitting here. And our superintendent's sitting here. Our school board's sitting here. It starts with all of us. If we want to accept average, when we go in that school, do we want to give our average ability? Or do we want to be on fire for these students and these teachers? It starts with the top. If you go in that school and want to accept average for a report card or something like that, average in baseball gets 2.5 hits every 10 times at the plate. Is that what we want in schools? Work hard, because y'all lead the example. I didn't think people listen, because last month I talked about loving the students. And I had a principal come to me and said, you know what, it made an impact on me. I need to know how to love our students so they can love us back. So that's all I'm asking. Let's not be average. Let's do the best we can to be above average. So I ask, what are you building? What legacy are you leaving? When you walk out of that school, when you retire, what are you leaving? Are you leaving a school you're proud of, or are you leaving an average school? So I just ask, do the best we can, because our community deserves it, our students deserve it. So work hard on getting us where we want to be. But I'm going to turn it over to Ms. Wooten now. She got two students. I know one's got to get out of here quick. So
we got a softball game to get to, so yes, we're delighted to have two Airport High School students with us tonight. First, we have Aiden Vaughn, and then we have Carolina Redmond Morello. She told me 4 times how to pronounce her name, so I wanted to make sure I got it right. Aiden is an active and dedicated student at Airport High School who excels in academics, athletics, and community involvement. She currently holds an impressive 4.9 GPA and is ranked 12th in the graduating class. Aiden is a member of both the varsity softball and varsity volleyball teams. In addition to athletics, Aiden is a member of the Beta Club, the National Honor Society, and the Wingmate Club. She also represents Airport High School last summer at Palmetto Girls State, where she gained valuable leadership experience and learned about civic responsibility and government. Aiden is involved in Fellowship of Christian Athletes and is active in the youth group at Trinity Baptist Church. This summer, she will serve as a somersault intern, continuing her commitment to faith, leadership, and service. After graduation, Aiden plans to attend the University of South Carolina and major in biological sciences. She hopes to continue her education in dental school and pursue a career as an orthodontist. Carolina is an outstanding senior at Airport Currently ranked third in the class of 2026, she has an impressive 5.26 GPA. She serves as senior class president and is an active member of the Beta Club, National Honor Society, STEM Club, and the TRIOS program. Carolina was recently honored as the recipient of the 2025-2026 Legion of Valor Bronze Cross Award, the highest honor as a JRTC cadet can receive in the high school and college level. She also serves as the commander of the drill team, who just last weekend placed third at the and fourth at the brigade best of the best drill team competition, where they will now move on to compete at the U.S. National Championship in Daytona Beach this May. Outside of school, Carolina is an active member of her church and participates in numerous community volunteer programs. After graduation, she plans to attend either the University of South Carolina or Lander University, where she will continue with the Army, ROTC, and hopes to be an officer in the military. Carolina will pursue a degree in nursing with a career goal of becoming a nurse anesthetist. Very impressive to both of you, and now if y'all will just come to the podium. And Aiden will lead us in the invocation first, and then Carolina will lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Okay, let's pray. Dear Lord, thank you for the blessing of tonight and just allowing us to be able to gather here together. I just pray that as we go about tonight, that we will just aim to glorify you in all we do, and that you will guide us to just be able to have a successful and productive meeting, Lord. I just thank you for every single person in this room and the impact that they have for our schools and community. And I just pray that you will continue to work in them and allow them to be a blessing to our schools, Lord. I just pray that you will continue to bless our schools and allow us to finish out this year strong. Thank you for this day, Lord, and everyone here. I just pray that you will bless our time together. It's in your name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank y'all. All right, with no objection, the consent agenda stands approved as presented. And I'm going to turn it over to Dr. Cooper for our honors and accomplishments.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Good evening, everyone. First, we're going to have Dr. Tammy Small come up. Dr. Small is our coordinator for credentialing, staffing, and alternative programs. She's going to talk about our Lex2 Grows cohort this year, and we will recognize our participants. Thank you, Dr. Small.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman, Dr. Cooper, members of the board, and members of the community. Tonight, I'm pleased to share a brief overview of Lex2 Grows Leadership Program. Lex2 Grows is a leadership program developed to support those who wish to broaden, develop, and deepen their understanding of leadership in and for our district. The program aims to support development and practice of leadership by cultivating skills, strengths, and goals. Participants are selected through a competitive application process that considers demonstrated leadership potential, supervisor recommendation, and a strong commitment to professional growth. We are especially proud of this year's cohort and the growth that they've demonstrated. To bring that to life, I've asked two participants to briefly share their experiences and reflections on the program. So I will ask Sarah Harley and Nathan Farmer to come to the podium.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman, Dr. Cooper, members of the board. My name is Nathan Farmer. I'm a third grade teacher at Riverbank Elementary. I'm very thankful for the district and being able to be a part of this cohort to grow in my leadership. I've really appreciated all the curriculum coordinators and leaders stepping in to help. I want to personally thank Dr. McDonald for being my mentor and taking time for me in his very busy schedule. While education has many formal leadership roles. Leadership is not just for titles and different roles. It should be demonstrated in every position in Lex2. And Lex2 Grows recognizes that and empowers us to grow leaders in wherever we are in our career. During Lex2 Grows, we reflect on the kind of leaders we want to be. And during one of our meetings, we worked on a leadership catchphrase that defines our leadership. I developed this simple motto: relationships first, children always. I believe strong relationships are the foundation of effective teaching, and every decision should be grounded in what is best for our children. Lex2 Grows has helped me grow as a leader, reflect on my purpose, and take the next steps in my journey. I'm grateful that Lex2 continues to invest in its teachers. Thank you, board, and all those that made this program possible.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman, members of the board, and Dr. Cooper. Thank you for the opportunity to speak tonight on Lex2 Grows. My name is Sarah Harley. I'm a sixth grade ELA teacher at Busby Creative Arts Academy, and Lex2 Grows has been a pivotal part of my leadership journey. I have gained invaluable skills that I will continue to develop as a classroom teacher and an aspiring administrator. This program has helped me in creating SMART goals, reflecting on my journey as a teacher leader, and honing in on my leadership skills. I'm currently finishing my master's in education administration at the University of South Carolina, and Lex2 Grows has provided me the ability to learn from our outstanding district officials and to see and experience leadership through the lens of Lex2. Thank you.
Thank you both for sharing your experiences and insights. Your reflections truly show how impactful all of our teachers can be, even in the classroom. At this time, I'd like to invite all members of Lex2 Grows cohort to stand, come up to the podium, and briefly share your name, role, and your school so that you can be recognized by the board.
Good evening. My name is Melissa Collins. I'm a fifth grade teacher at Riverbank Elementary.
Good evening. My name is Rose Fain, and I'm an eighth grade social studies teacher at Northside Middle School.
Good evening. My name is Jennifer Rankin, and I'm a third grade teacher at Casey Elementary.
Good evening. My name is Amanda Stone, and I am a 7th and 8th grade math teacher at Busby Creative Arts Academy.
Hello, Lindsay Greaves, Northside Middle School, 7th grade teacher.
Hi, Kimberly Plowden, Work-Based Learning Coordinator at LexingtonTwo Innovation Center.
Good evening. I'm Ryan Gaffney. I teach ID Moderate at Busby.
Hi, I'm Nina Sullivan. I teach 5th grade at Casey Elementary.
Hi, I'm Nikki Wojcik, and I teach 2nd grade at Congaree Elementary.
Hi, I'm Ashley Lawson, and I teach 2nd grade at Congaree Elementary.
Hi, my name is Ana Lopez, Dr. Ana Lopez, and I work at Airport High School as a multilingual teacher with the amazing team of ESOL.
Hello, I'm Candace Kilcoyne. I am at Three Rivers RTF, and this year I am the social studies teacher for middle school, but I work with all the kids.
Hello, I'm Karen Williams. I'm an occupational therapist in the district. I'm itinerant, but primarily at Wood Elementary.
Hello, I'm Amy Finnegan at Saluda River Academy for the Arts, where I teach music.
Hello, I'm Clark Ebner. I am a math teacher at Brooklyn Casey High School.
Hello, I'm Brittany Thompson. I'm the STEAM coach at Saluda River Academy for the Arts.
Hello, my name is Maggie Kuzi. I'm the STEM coach at Congaree Elementary.
Good evening. I'm Amanda Altman. I'm the science department head, and I teach at Airport High School.
Hello, I'm Elizabeth Barrett, and I teach business education at the Great Airport High School.
Good evening, y'all. I'm Kyle Morris-Mandigo, and I teach social studies at Airport High School.
Hello, I'm Elizabeth Hook, and I teach 1st grade at Riverbank Elementary.
I'm Jessica Turner. I teach kindergarten at Riverbank Elementary.
Thank you, Dr. Small, and thank you, participants, for being here and for all that you do. We look at you and your leadership to come. Thank you so much. Next, March is Music in Our Schools and Youth Art Month, and we want to share with you tonight some prestigious recognitions that some of our students have been awarded in music, fine arts, and theater. So far this school year, there are so many honors that we'll be bringing more to you next month as well. Right now, we're going to have a mix of teachers and students come to the podium to talk about their recognitions. First, I'd like to have music, then district art show winners, and then some of our theater students. So Mr. Hunter Reese, band director at Busby Creative Arts Academy, is going to kick us off with Region Band. Mr. Reese, you got the ball. Thank you.
Good evening. Thank you so much for allowing us to come out this evening. My name's Hunter Reese. I'm the band director at Busby Creative Arts Academy. And we're going to start off the music section tonight honoring the students who made Region Band this year. It's an exciting time. We had 12 students in our district make Region Band from the middle schools and high school. I think it's the first time in a while we've had a student from every single school in our district also make this honor. So we're excited tonight. A little bit about Region Band. Students have to audition in order to be a part of this honor. They have to play scales from memory. They have to perform terms and tell them the definitions, kind of multiple choice answers. They also have to perform a solo that they learned outside of their normal content that they would do in class. And then they have to do 2 sight reading examples that they get 30 seconds to look at, silently study, kind of practice it really quickly, and then they have to perform the example, and they do that 2 times. So these students, we have 3 levels. There's a junior band that we're going to start with. That's going to be our 6th through 8th grade students. There's a clinic level we'll move to, which is 9th and 10th grade, and finally a senior level, which is 11th and 12th. So I'm going to turn it over to Northside Middle School and their band director so they can recognize their student.
My name is TC Webb. I'm the 8th grader at Northside Middle School, and I got first chair at tenor saxophone.
We're just super proud of him. Out of all of the middle school tenor saxophone players, they only take 2 of them. So not only to get in, but to get first chair is a huge deal. We're super proud.
Wow.
Next, we'll have Fulmer Middle School.
Hi, my name's Sam. I go to middle school and I play the clarinet.
Hi, I'm Alex Easterday. I'm the band director at Fulmer Middle School, and I'm very happy and proud of Samantha for making the Region Band this year on 15th chair clarinet. So, great honor for her. Thank you.
Next up, we'll have Pine Ridge Middle School.
Hi, my name is Christian Ramirez, and I play alto sax, and I made 5th chair in Region Band for junior.
And good evening. I'm Andrea Johnson, the new band director at Pine Ridge Middle School. I'm extremely proud of Christian for making that 5th chair alto saxophone position.
And last, for the junior division, we have Busby Creative Arts Academy. We have one of my students.
Hi, I'm Giuliano. I play the trumpet.
Giuliano earned 6th chair alternate trumpet for Busby, and we also had a student who was unable to make it this evening, David Muncie, who was our first ever percussion student to make it. He made 4th chair alternate, David Muncie, so we're very proud of him. Next up, we're going to move to the clinic band, which are we'll start with Airport High School and then follow with Brooklyn Casey.
Hi, everyone. I'm Robert Spittler. I'm the band director at Airport High School. I had 2 people make the clinic region band this year at the 9th and 10th grade level. This is our first one.
Hi, I'm Mackenzie Beamer. I'm a 10th grader, and I made 5th chair.
Clarinet. And then we had, she's not here, but her name is Aubrey Kibilewski, and she made 2nd alternate on French horn this year. So we're very proud of that.
Hi, I'm Arwen Simmons, and I made 6th chair clarinet.
Hello, my name is Titus McCutcheon. I am the band director at Broken Casey High School. And yeah, as you heard, I have one student that made clinic, and you'll see my seniors as well. So thank you.
And lastly, we have the senior level, which are 11th and 12th grade students, again, starting with Airport High School to be then followed by Brooklyn Casey.
This year we had one student who is a multi-instrumentalist that I'd like to brag on him just for a second, because not only has he made region band on tuba, but he also made it on baritone as well in 2 separate years, which is not all that easy. So
hello, my name is Jonathan Ramirez Bautista, and I made 4th chair on euphonium.
Hi again. I also have made 3 total seniors that was able to get into the senior region band, and I had to go and introduce them as well here. And also, just to total it around here, I'm really happy and proud of my students for making it this far, especially to not only represent the school, but represent the district here. So I'm really happy to show them off. I'd like to go and start off with Donovan Norris here.
Good evening. My name is Donovan Norris. I've made it 5 years in a row on alto sax, this year being 3rd chair.
What's up? I'm Andrew Roberts. I'm a senior, and I play flute. I made 2nd chair alternate at Region.
And unfortunately, one could not make it due to work, but we have Ryan Knight, who was a saxophone player who was made 5th. No, what chair was it again? Was it 7th? 6th, thank you. Was 6th chair for alto sax. So thank you.
Thank you again so much for having us come out to recognize our students during Music in the School Month. I'm going to turn it over now to Ms. Spencer so she can talk about All-State Orchestra.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Sarah Spencer, and I'm the orchestra and guitar teacher at Busby Creative Arts Middle School. And I'm here to recognize our All-State Orchestra students. But before I do that, I want to quickly explain what an honors orchestra is. So first, it starts with Region Orchestra. And these students, middle and high school, learn the scales and experts for an audition. And then they come and play for judges. And I was one of those judges, and we're looking for good rhythm, intonation, and musicality. And after they play the audition, they get a score, and the highest scores are offered a seat, and there's only a set number of seats. So we had 2 students, two students get into, I'm gonna skip that, sorry. We had students get into Region Orchestra, and then after they get into All Region and play that concert, they're offered a chance to audition for All-State Orchestra, which is more competitive because it's the entire state, not just the Midlands. It's Charleston, Greenville, Columbia, Rock Hill. And the excerpts are harder, and there's still a set number of seats. And for that, we had 2 students. They're both here. I'll bring them up. Go ahead.
Hi, my name is Sybil Pellerin, and I made 8th chair cellist at All-State Orchestra.
And I don't see him here, but Caleb Jenkins made 5th chair alternate violin, and his teacher is Caitlin McDonald at Airport, and I'm sure she's very proud. And I just also want to acknowledge that Sybil Pellerin was the only student from Lexington School District 2 to play in the All-State Orchestra at Furman University in Greenville. So she's also the first ever student at Busby. As far as I know, it's my first year teaching, but I'm very proud. And she's the first ever student to get into All-State. So I just want to highlight that for our school. Thank you all so much. And shout out to parents, because I think you guys are amazing, and this does not happen without y'all. So thank you so much. Okay.
Good evening, and thank you for recognizing us tonight. My name is Allison Calder. I'm a senior at Airport High School. Mrs. Rona is currently involved in 2 different rehearsals tonight, so I'm going to introduce All-State Chorus. South Carolina All-State Chorus is the premier audition chorus in South Carolina. In order to be accepted into this ensemble, we had to prepare an intricate 5-part contrapuntal audition piece to perform for 3 judges. We also had to sight read a piece of music, which means singing a piece of music we had never seen before, only having 60 seconds to practice it. We had the incredible opportunity to study under the internationally renowned conductors to perform 3 amazing concerts on February 28th at Winthrop University. We are grateful to the district for supporting our participation in this choral event. As I mentioned before, I am Allison Calder. I'm a senior at Airport High School, and this was my 2nd year participating in All-State Chorus.
Hello, my name is Kylan Gillis. I'm a junior at Airport High School, and this is my 2nd year at All-State Chorus.
My name is Keely Zion. I'm a junior at Airport High School, and this is my 2nd year at All-State Chorus.
My name is Michaela Haynes. I'm a junior at Airport High School, and this is my 1st year in All-State Chorus.
Good evening. I'm Tabitha Lawton-Slager. I am the visual arts teacher at Pine Ridge Middle School. Thank you, members of the board, Chairman, Dr. Cooper, and cabinet members for inviting us here tonight to recognize and celebrate the arts. I'm grateful to serve for a 2nd year as our district's visual arts teacher, lead visual arts teacher, direct our fine arts summer camp, enrollment for which is open now through April 30th, and coordinate our district's annual student art show. This year we had our 2nd adjudicated district art show, and I would like to acknowledge our 1st place and best in show winners here tonight. Students, if you would come forward to the podium at this time, introduce yourself with your name, school, and the award you received, please. Hi, I'm Trista Hobbs-West from Brooklyn Casey High School, and I am a senior there. I got 1st place in the 3D Arts Division.
Hi, my name is Dana Brown. I'm a senior at Brooklyn Casey, and my piece won Best of Show Award.
My name is Ethan Walker from Busby Creative Arts Academy, and I won 1st place for middle schools in the art show.
Hi, I'm Erin Irwin. I'm one of the art teachers at Wood Elementary, and I'm proud to introduce my artists who won awards. This is Leela Sandra Patty. She won 1st place for 2D at elementary level. And this is Hank Richburg. He won Best in Show for 2D for elementary.
Hello, everyone. I'm Hannah Foster. I'm the visual arts teacher at Saluda River Academy for the Arts, and this is my student.
Hi.
I'm Cecily.
I'm Cecily Odom. And I got 1st place in 3D.
Good.
Elementary.
Yes.
My name is Loya Purdy. I'm a student at Pine Ridge Middle School, and I won 1st place for a 3D art show.
Rosalia Gonzalez, and I go to Pine Ridge Middle School, and I've won best for middle school.
We also had one student who was unable to make it tonight, Holly Kissling from Airport, who won first place in 2D art.
Good evening. My name is Matt Sparkman. I teach theater at Brooklyn Casey High School, and I'm pulling double duty tonight because I am also Miss Caitlin White, the theater teacher at Airport High School, here to recognize amazing theater students from both schools. I adore her students, and so this is an opportunity for me to shower them with praise as well. At the Palmetto Dramatic Association South Carolina International Thespian Society Festival and Competition, that is its full name, both schools participated in both a one-act play competition where we brought costumes, set pieces, everything for a 40-minute one-act play. In addition, students had the opportunity to compete in individual events, such as solo musical theater, group scenes, that type of thing. We even had some technical awards, but I will allow the students to one by one explain their awards before I talk about some of the amazing technical awards that are not present tonight.
Hi, my name is Jenna Pownell, and I'm a senior at Brooklyn Casey High School. I'm also the president of our theater troupe, and I won a Superior Award for duet acting with my partner, Lillian Adkins.
Hi, my name is Lillian Adkins, and I won a Superior for a Duet Award with duet acting with Jenna Pownell.
Hi, my name is Trista Hobbs-West, and I'm a senior, and I won an award for duo acting with Abigail Brown.
Hi, my name is Abigail Brown. I'm in the 11th grade in Brooklyn Casey High School, and I won a Superior in duet acting with Trista Bell.
Hi, my name is Michaela Haynes, and I won a Superior in solo ensemble musical and solo musical.
Hi, my name is Keely Zion. I'm in 11th grade. I go to Airport High School, and I won a Superior in both group musical theater as well as solo musical theater.
Hi, my name is Taylor Mack. I am a senior at Airport High School, and I earned an award for excellence in a performance in a one-act play.
Furthermore, this is only the second time that Airport High School brought a one-act to the competition, and they got a Superior, the cast and crew. The Brooklyn Casey High School also got a Superior, but on a technicality was marked down, and was a really powerful learning opportunity for us. We at Brooklyn Casey High School also were the only school in the state to have 2 Superiors for backstage stage management, and that's a big deal. Both Emily Crow and Shania Besant earned that award. In addition, Lillian Adkins, who received an award, Superior for duet acting, was the second person, I believe, to come to the podium, is the first ever representative from LexingtonTwo to be elected a state thespian officer. So really amazing things happening in theater in LexingtonTwo. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. And finally tonight, Brooklyn Casey High School Principal Dr. Vance Jones is going to introduce us to a member of the class of 2026 who's been selected for 2 top national academic recognitions. Dr. Jones.
Good evening, Mr. Chair, members of the board, Dr. Cooper. It is my pleasure to recognize Amy Lamb, a senior at Brooklyn Casey High School and the current valedictorian in the class of 2026 with an impressive 5.5 GPA. She is a candidate for the 2026 U.S. Presidential Scholars Program and also selected as a finalist for the National Merit Scholarship Program. These prestigious recognitions highlight her exceptional academic achievement, leadership, and dedication to both her school and community. The U.S. Presidential Scholarship Program honors some of the nation's most distinguished graduating seniors, while the National Merit Scholarship Program identifies top-performing students across the country. She is one of 15,000 finalists, and Amy is among an elite group of students competing for the National Merit Scholarships. Her accomplishments place her among the most outstanding seniors, high school seniors in the country, and it reflects her commitment to excellence. So at this time, I'm going to let Amy tell a little bit about what her plans are after high school.
First, I would like to thank all my teachers, family, friends, and God for all the support that they've given me over the past few years. And I'm very grateful for all the opportunities that LexingtonTwo and Brooklyn-Cayce have offered me. I plan to attend a four-year university in the fall to study human development and family studies, though I have not committed to a particular school yet, and I'm excited to enter my community, go forth, and serve.
All right, thank y'all. I didn't know they had a number 5.5. I didn't know it went that high. I never saw it. Huh? That is excellent. All right, we're going to move on into public participation. And tonight we have two people that have signed up to speak tonight. And we just ask that no profanity be used. We also ask that you do not use staff or student names. The board will not give feedback per policy and will receive all comments as information only. So with that, our first person tonight that we're going to have speaking is Brian Habing. Brian, if you'll come up, he's going to be speaking on 6E, item that is under operations, and then he's going to be speaking on 13, and that is the data ABC, and he'll be speaking on 8B, consideration of first reading and provisions of board policy IHAM. All right, Brian, you have 5 minutes. Thank you.
Concerning 6E operations, at the last board meeting, it was noted that the MUSC vaccine van will visit our schools on March 24th to 26th and March 30th to provide students with the opportunity to receive required and recommended vaccines with prior parental consent, as was done at middle and high schools in 2024. On many occasions, this board has made it clear that it recognizes the difficulties many of our district parents have in terms of finances, time away from work and the like, and does its best to take those into account in its policies. And I think allowing this vaccine service fits right in with that. It would emphatically not be helpful in that way to require parents to actually be present instead of just giving permission. As far as Section 13 on the agenda, it has the supplement ABC on attendance, behavior, and course progress that compares the various schools on some summary statistics. As a statistician, I can't help but caution anyone against using the numbers by themselves to compare our schools. In terms of attendance and course progress, they can be strongly affected by our students' life circumstances. For example, 2 of our elementary schools differ by 24 points in the poverty index, that's 24%, and so differ in how many of the students are fighting the extra hurdles poverty brings with it. And some of our schools have magnet programs, so we know that many of the parents who are in the position to have the time and resources to investigate the school choices, sign their children up for the school, and in some cases provide them transportation. So it's no surprise that there would be difference in those outcomes. This, of course, doesn't mean that the numbers aren't important, and I'm very grateful that they were reported, or that they can't show us areas to work on, but it does mean that more information is needed than these summary tables to evaluate our schools and decide which is best or the like. For discipline, it feels like each school's administrative team and policies could have a great impact on how the behaviors are dealt with and whether there is even a referral at all. I'm curious if the district annually surveys its teachers to see what differences there are in the school's disciplinary enforcement in practice and how the teaching staff views them as affecting their classroom management. Finally, I have a few comments on policy IHAM on health education in Section 8B that have their first reading tonight. There are a few things in paragraph 1 and 3 that read more like they're explaining the changes than would fit in a policy itself, and I'll email the board those because it's kind of boring. In any case, near the end, I like the changes that include that our employees are not liable for students who manage to jailbreak the content control systems on their Chromebooks. And I wonder if instructional employees should also not be held liable for teaching something that was reviewed and approved according to the district policy, but is later found to violate the code when someone protests it. Finally, in regards to that state code, 1615-305C1, I note the section before it, B4, considers what is taken by a reasonable person to have literary, artistic, political, or scientific value. I assume something like this is what allows a few of the things listed in that code as bad to appropriately be discussed in, say, nurse training, human anatomy, biology, or something about Dante's Inferno in literature. On the other hand, I think there are a huge number of things that essentially no one would find appropriate that are listed in that law that we would never have happen at our schools. But I'm guessing that there are also things that some of us would find clearly appropriate in terms of literary, artistic, political, or scientific value that others would say were clearly inappropriate, and those two groups might disagree on which things those happen to be. And I'm guessing in many of those cases, we each quickly jump to those conclusions and gear up for an argument that echoes much in modern political discourse, unfortunately. In those cases, I wonder if it is useful for those deciding where the line is to have some examples that might straddle those lines and try to consider them from both sides. Googling around, a classic example might be Ezekiel 23:20-21, say in the NIV or RSV translations. Looking at some recent news, what's an appropriate explanation for classrooms at different levels about the commandment that falls between murdering and stealing, depending on how you number them? If it was the periodic table of elements hanging on every science classroom walls, it feels like that would be a fair subject for a student to ask about and a teacher to have an opinion on. I don't know how we explain that commandment to our students and where that line is. And I'm guessing much of this will be decided at the state level and you won't have to do it, but some of it might pass through you on the way. And so I'd just like to encourage, whenever something comes forward, to just take that step back and take a deep breath and think about it before doing what I think we're all inclined to do and just jump straight ahead. Thank you for all you do.
Thank you, Mr. Having. Next up, we'll have Melissa Goforth. She's going to be speaking on 3A, the agenda and minutes. She'll be speaking on 4B, which is the art students' art monthly display. And then she can be speaking on 10A, in executive session about receipt of legal advice concerning a BEDH public participation policy. And Melissa, you have 5 minutes.
Good evening. Go forth and serve. I like that very much from the previous student being recognized. Thank you to the Lex2 Innovation Center staff and our Lex2 art teachers, especially both of our creative, amazing art teachers at Riverbank, for taking the time to set up such a nice display of our students' artwork. We missed the reception yesterday because of sports and other obligations, and we were very grateful that it's still being displayed so that we were able to take pictures of both kids' artwork before this meeting. We appreciate that. I'd also like to give a spectacular first place shout out to the Riverbank Elementary SRO, West Columbia Police Officer Peyton Miller. Together with teachers and students of Riverbank, they embarked on a coin quest, answering riddles together and collecting coins for their homeroom classrooms to raise funds for the Special Olympics of South Carolina. Officer Miller and the Riverbank Sea Turtles raised $3,715, more than any other participant. Then they combined that total with the other outstanding efforts of the West Columbia Police Department SRO team members to raise $8,812 and take home the top team prize for the entire event. So congratulations. And I forgot to mention that they also took a polar plunge on Valentine's Day morning at 10 a.m. in 46-degree weather for the mission. He's getting his hair dyed tomorrow for the third and final time by the winning classroom teachers. We appreciate those efforts and hands-on demonstrations showing how small changes and efforts can produce big results. And teachers also shared it was an excellent exercise in counting money, coins, and points. Speaking to last month's safety and emergency services portion of the operations report, I found myself in the front office during the Riverbank lockdown drill, and seeing such a small piece of the drill from behind the scenes, it was a little jarring, I'm not gonna lie, but these are not the practice bomb threat drills of the early 2000s that I know. I can't believe our kids have to take these kind of precautions, but the professionalism and precision of not only West Columbia Police Department, but of our teachers and our administration was notable. Overhearing safety procedures in place on entrances, exits, and evacuations throughout the drill was so informative, things I never would have considered even as a parent. And then obviously I wasn't privy, but I saw them all gather to sit down and evaluate afterward to analyze how to improve and remember things for next time. I left that day knowing that my children were safer. Ms. Castles and Dr. Cooper, thank you for coming to Riverbank classrooms to read for Read Across America Week. Also, today, my 5th grader traveled to Charleston to the South Carolina State Aquarium. I wasn't chosen as a chaperone this time, but another parent messaged me to ask if I had served as a chaperone, and she just wanted to check to make sure her own child arrived safely. That parent texted and just wished for a notification sent to alert parents when a bus has arrived or departed. I was just curious if that's possible with current systems in place. I thought it was a good idea. Our 5th grader had a great time. Thank you for the opportunity. We were grateful for the staff, the chaperones, and the bus drivers that did all the work in getting them there and back safely. Also, when I was leaving with Beyond Goals for my 2nd grader, I saw at 4:15 the 5th grade teacher that was still waiting for a child to be picked up, as well as the principal and the APs waiting around as well. So we appreciate them all sticking around to make sure it was just a great time for all. Yesterday, I walked into Riverbank to thunderous applause. You're right, Mr. Key, average is easy, but I don't see anyone in our school striving to be or just accept average. I heard this applause and I wanted to know, like, what is this eruption of joy coming from the 2nd floor? It was not St. Patty's Day, so I knew it wasn't the leprechaun hunt. I just wanted to know what had the 3rd graders so pumped. So being nosy, I checked it out, and it was a pep rally to prepare for MAP testing. That excitement was real. Hats off to the teachers, admin, and other planners, because I would never have imagined them getting so pumped about a standardized test. And finally, I just wanted to mention that this week is Sunshine Week. Our governor, Henry McMaster, posted a proclamation that government must always be open and accountable to the people it serves. Throughout Sunshine Week, South Carolina recognizes the importance of transparency and a strong democracy. And here we are tonight on March 19th. LexingtonTwo board members are meeting behind the curtains in protection of executive session to receive legal advice regarding board policy BEDH with public participation. Just as these members welcome parents in the community into the PAC Center to view and recognize the student and district's work, as well as the beginning of every regularly scheduled board meeting, stakeholders should be welcome to approach, publicly address their elected officials by name during a regularly scheduled time during every regularly scheduled board meeting. Thank you and happy Sunshine Week.
Thank you. We're going to move into our administrative divisional reports, and I'm going to turn it back over for our superintendent update with Dr. Cooper.
Thank you. Good evening, Mr. Chair, members of the school board, and members of Lexington School District 2 family. And as you see, we are celebrating Music in Our School Month and Youth Art Month. And I want to just take a moment to highlight the important role that music and the arts play in the life of our district and in the lives of the students that we serve. Okay, that's right. In Lexington 2, our vision is to be champions for children, and that means that we are committed to educating the whole child. It means we value not only academic growth, but also creativity and confidence, expression, and a sense of belonging that helps students thrive. Music and the arts are a vital part of this work. When we say we are champions for children, we are saying that every child matters, every gift matters, and every pathway to success matters. For many students, music and the arts provide this pathway. Music and the arts help us reach children in ways that are both powerful and lasting. The arts help children find their voice. These programs remind us that student success cannot be measured by one pathway alone. Across Lexington 2, we see this lived out every day. We see it in classrooms where students are learning to sing, perform, draw, design, create, and think critically. In every school, we see the arts helping students grow in confidence, connection, and character. We see it on stages, in performances, through student artwork, and in the many experiences that allow our students to shine. We also know that music and arts programs help shape the culture of a school. They bring life, they bring energy, they bring pride and community to our buildings. Music and the arts often become places where students gain confidence and where they begin to see themselves as capable and gifted. That, too, is part of our responsibility as champions for children. This is not just about performance or presentation. It is about child development. We are so grateful for the talented teachers and staff members across Lexington, too, who invest in our students through music and the arts. Their work is developing more than performances or projects. It is helping develop children into confident, creative, and well-rounded young people. So, as we honor music and arts in our Schools Month, we also reaffirm who we are as a district. Supporting music and the arts is one more way we live out our vision of being champions for children. We champion children when we recognize their unique gifts. We champion children when we create spaces for them to belong. And we champion children when we make sure that they have opportunities to grow not only in knowledge, but also in creativity and confidence and in character. Music and the arts are not extras in a very strong school system. They are essential parts of a well-rounded education. They give children opportunities to explore who they are, how they think, and how they communicate with the world around them. Music and arts in our schools are bookends, helping us further develop confidence, discipline, collaboration, resilience, and self-expression. For some students, music and the arts provide the first place where they truly feel seen, successful, and heard. Whether through choir, chorus, band, visual art, theater, or classroom performances, students find connection with peers who encourage them to help them grow. These programs help students feel part of something meaningful, and that sense of belonging strengthens school culture. It takes a lot of courage to perform. It takes courage to present, and it takes courage to create. Through music and art, students learn to take healthy risks, accept feedback, keep improving, and believe in their own abilities, which are experiences that build confidence, that carries them into the classroom, into leadership opportunities, and into life beyond school. Music and the arts require practice, patience, focus, and persistence. Students learn that growth comes through effort and commitment. They learn to keep working even when something is difficult, and that lesson serves them in every other area of their education as well. The arts strengthen creativity, but they also strengthen critical thinking and problem solving. Students make decisions, interpret meaning, evaluate their work, revise their approach, and think in original ways. These are skills that matter across all content areas and in future careers. So as we celebrate Music in Our Schools Month and Youth Art Month, we do more than recognize our programs. We affirm a belief that every child deserves opportunities to learn, create, belong, and shine, and that is what it means to be a champion for children. I want to take this time now to recognize all of our educators that are here with us tonight, that showed up tonight to help us celebrate Music in Our Schools and Art Youth Month. Please stand and be recognized. What you do matters. It's very important work, and we appreciate everything that you do. Thank you so much. Thank you for coming. And with that, Mr. Chair, that concludes my report.
Thank you, Dr. Cooper. All right. We're going to go ahead and talk some numbers, and I'm going to turn it over to Ms. Sky Strickland for some finance reports.
Good evening to everyone. Tonight I have the February financials. They were uploaded last week. Are there any questions concerning the financials for February?
Any questions?
Could I have your approval for February's financials?
Without objection, the monthly financial reports are accepted as presented.
Okay, I just want to update. I know there has been talk about the boat tax bill. I just want to inform our board, last fiscal year, 24-25, we received $187,000 in boat tax. So just to give you a reference how that would affect our district, that's just for your information. The budget has passed the House and it's now has gone to the Senate. So I'll monitor that as it goes through the Senate. Okay, next on the agenda, I have Mr. Stephen Taylor, who's going to come up and give a brief presentation on the Minority Business Report.
Minority purchases for those months are $138,388.12. ATEC Training, Inc. is one of the largest providers. They are women-owned. SHI International Corp. They are our IT. They're actually the largest private minority and women-owned business, so that's good that we have them. Our school district total for July through December is $19,075,108.29. I'm happy to report that we are on schedule for our annual goal of 1% for those minority businesses. Our current position is at 1.06.
Any questions?
Thank you, Stephen. And Stephen is our Director of Procurement. I didn't mention that earlier. Thank you.
All right, we're gonna move on along to Human Resources, and I'm gonna turn it over to Ms. Hugs. Thought you were sleeping, did I?
Good, you're good. This on, this on.
Huh?
I didn't see
You
it.
on,
You
you
can't
up.
see it, we're steady. Thank you. Okay, Mr. Chair, board members, and Dr. Cooper, I do have our, I thought I did. Mr. LeBon. It's been a day with technology for me, so. I do have our 26 Human Resources Annual Spring Report to present this evening. There we go. All right, each year, our department provides this report to update you on the data trends, the strategic planning for the upcoming school year, and to share the efforts that we have in place to recruit, develop leadership capacity, and to retain our teachers and staff. So first, we're going to look at some of the data trends in South Carolina. The South Carolina Teacher Supply and Demand Report for 25-26 focus on teacher departures and vacancies. Across the state, districts reported a 5% decrease in teacher departures compared to last year, which is good. Of these departures, 19% retired and 25% transferred to another public school district. You can see on the right side, we have the vacancies, and districts that participated in the survey reported 32% decrease in vacancies at the beginning of this current school year. In October, Dr. Cooper provided the annual staffing report, which showed certified departures at the end of 24-25. And of those departures on the left, 12% of those departures were due to retirement, which is a lot lower than the state average of 19%. And then 48% of the certified staff who separated from LexingtonTwo relocated to another school district, which was a little higher than the average. Next, you can see the vacancies at the start of this current school year. For LexingtonTwo, there was a 33% decrease compared to the previous year, 24-25, which is 1% higher than the state, or lower than the state, excuse me. I do want to recognize the efforts of our principals and our assistant principals who continue to commit to the timeline to interviewing and all of the applicants who apply so that we can keep these vacancies low. So thank you, administrators. As of the end of February, we have successfully onboarded 218 new hires, 130 of which are certified and 88 which are support. Another piece of data which I wanted to include this year is the South Carolina Teacher Working Conditions Survey. And this survey shows a lot more than this, but I wanted to specifically show the mentor support portion of this survey that surveys the induction teachers, or what they're calling novice teachers. This survey showed gains in all of the areas when it came to the mentor support for novice teachers. I only shared a small section of this survey, but I can tell you that in each of those areas, there was a higher rating in 2025 than there was in 2024. And so Mr. Rabin and our team, we used that data to fine-tune the induction and mentoring programs in order to meet the needs of our new teachers. So our focus, and this slide's going to be just a little bit, so just bear with me, but because we have a lot that's going on, and I really think it's important that we share what we're doing for the district. But our focus is on recruitment, onboarding, professional development, and retention. So our recruiting initiatives include hosting and attending various recruiting events throughout the state of South Carolina. We continue to form those valuable partnerships with our colleges and universities. Our billboard campaign and the new LexingtonTwo website are designed to increase visibility and appeal. Additionally, we are leveraging the SARA job board, which also integrates with Frontline, to streamline some of our recruitment for teachers who are out of state. So as we step into the 26-27 school year, Ms. Dawn Chiavo will head up our marketing campaign, which I won't give details to that because she can share later, but this will include representatives from each of our schools to help promote and continue promoting our district. We continue with signing bonuses that are still used to entice applicants to fill those hard-to-fill vacancies such as math, science, and special education. And in addition to that, Dr. Small has held several teacher interest meetings this year for those who are interested in becoming a certified teacher, and many of those attendees happen to be support staff who are already invested in our district and currently employed. New as of yesterday afternoon, so it's not on the slide, we received approval to be one of the 2 districts to participate in the pilot non-certified teacher program, and hopes to work again with several of our current employees who are already invested in LexingtonTwo to achieve their certification. For onboarding, Ms. Kreisman, Ms. Reinhardt, and Ms. Reap strengthened the onboarding process and support for classified staff by collaborating with Adult Education and Ms. King, thank you, Ms. King, to assist in the Para Gateway, which will be new starting in July, and the WIN assessments. So this year, we are also planning to add the soft skills as another component to the WIN assessment to better identify readiness and support the needs of our employees. Our new to Lex2 process was simplified to make requirements clear and to help our employees complete key steps more efficiently before stepping into their new role. And with professional development, we remain committed to continuous growth throughout targeted supports for our new and our emerging educators. Last year, a collaboration between Human Resources and the Instructional Department, thank you all, resulted in our first Lex2 Grows. And at the beginning of this meeting, Dr. Small welcomed all of the this year's cohort up to the podium, so you got to see what we're working with. Mr. Rabin and Dr. Small also rolled out this year the Alternative Pathway Academy, which provides additional support for our induction teachers who are pursuing their certification through the non-traditional routes. Their focus is on navigating those certification requirements and addressing the practical first-year essentials that are typically covered in the non-traditional preparation programs. So it's additional support, and we've had absolutely nothing but positive feedback from those teachers. We do continue to offer praxis support for our summer professional development sessions and for our mentors and our evaluators. And just today, we finished up year 3 of the Leadership Summit, which had 19 teachers across the district who were trained to become evaluators and mentors. And our leadership program, started by Mr. Rabin, was designed to build leadership capacity by exploring those attributes of top leaders in our district, administrators, and best practices of our evaluators and our mentors. And so part of that was to bring in some speakers, which is my favorite part of the program, because people at the district office and our administrators throughout the district and all of the schools were able to come in and share their story and how leadership has impacted them in their role in order to impact our second cohort. So with retention, our efforts have already shown results with 8 of our participants from last year's Lex2 Grows starting and or completing an advanced degree, and 8 more taking on additional leadership roles this school year. We were able to provide support for teachers who are interested in the national board process by holding interest meetings and assisting them with assessment components, which are also required. Mr. Rabin also expanded leadership opportunities by establishing our district-wide leadership mentor structure, which allows our experienced mentors to support other mentors within the district and their mentees through the induction program. This extra layer of support and coaching has strengthened the consistency throughout all of our mentors and the schools to help with problem solving and all of those issues and supports that new teachers need. So we're very proud of that. So our LexingtonTwo Human Resources Department is committed to recruiting. We're committed to the onboarding process, supporting, retaining our employees as we continue to be champions and work for our champions for our children. Excuse me, I just got tongue-tied. So with that, that concludes my annual spring report. So I'll be happy to answer any questions if you have any.
Thank you so much. We got any questions?
I have one comment. I remember maybe 2-3 years ago sitting and saying, why don't we have something like Lex2 Grows? And y'all smashed it, so great job. That's, being able to grow from internal and make our next leaders is fantastic. We've seen a lot of positive progress between Lex2 Grows and syncing the schedule, so I really appreciate that.
It is a true collaboration between the Human Resources Department and the Instructional Department. It's been a fabulous collaboration. It really has.
That's awesome.
For everybody. And then I have the vacancy report. I'll go ahead and share with you while I have the mic. As of today, this afternoon, we have 15 support vacancies. We have 32 general ed vacancies, and we have 7 special education vacancies as of today.
All right. Any questions on any of that? All right. We're going to turn over to instruction, turn over to Dr. McDonald.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. I'm happy to share with you tonight our first report on our underperforming schools. As you all will recall, pursuant to state statute and code 5918-1615, we are required annually, any school that receives a below average result on their school report card, to work with those schools and institute a comprehensive improvement plan for them. So tonight, we're providing you with the first update of those plans, which we gave you a few months ago, which included their goals for each area of the school report card. In your packet and materials for tonight, you received the first progress report. And we are happy to answer any questions that you may have regarding that information for any of these schools. I'll either try to answer it, or I may ask some of our principals to come forward to assist.
Ms. Burkett?
Thank you so much for this, Dr. McDonald. I just want to thank Dr. Jones particularly because he provided us with exactly the kind of information that we look for. You guys can't all see this, but I mean specifically it says, for English, we need 151 students to make a C or higher to meet our goal, and our projection is 165 students. So see, that lets all of us know exactly where we stand. So that is fantastic information to have, and the numbers all look really good at BC. Other than U.S. history, we're still working on that a little bit. But I noticed, Dr. McDonald, that we just don't have that kind of information for airport. And so I wonder if we could just be consistent about that, because this is supposed to describe to us the major progress toward the goal. And I mean, what I see here are the efforts that are being made to do that are listed, but not where we stand in terms of progress. So if we could be consistent about that, that would be fantastic. And then I just wanted to mention, I noticed that the two high schools have slightly different scheduling for the ASFAB. I just am hoping that we are letting parents know that if their students just take the ASFAB and they make the minimum score, that can help them be a completer in a number of other areas. And so I hope that the test is being offered monthly and that students are being encouraged to take it even if they have no specific interest in that, because it's just one of those boxes that you can check and we kind of get some points from it.
Ms. Burkett, yes, the schools are both promoting that on a monthly basis to provide that assessment.
Okay.
And they are working with counselors and other folks in their schools to make sure that students have an opportunity to take that test. We want to see more and more students take it. We can't mandate that they all take it, but we can certainly offer it as many times as possible. And we are offering it, I think, probably 2 or 3 times more than we did just a year ago so that we can get more and more kids into that.
Yeah, and just to let the parents know and the students know that it just can help you in a number of ways besides the obvious. And I wanted to congratulate Congaree Elementary as well, because many of their specific numbers, they have shown increases on things. So good job for them. And I did want to ask, though, and I simply am just having an interest in this. It says from fall to winter MAP math in the 5th grade. Those projected to meet on South Carolina Ready decreased from 31 to 26%, but those projected to exceed went from 20 to 28. So what does that say to you? Does that say that the students kind of jumped up and more of them have moved forward, or what? Explain that to me.
So when that top area grows faster, basically we're getting more kids from the bottom to the top faster. So,
right.
So we're bypassing that center section, if you will, to get them to the further end. So that's a good thing. We want to see that number get bigger and bigger, that exceeds part, because that means kids are probably trending and projecting to be meets or exceeds on the actual state test at the end of the year. So that is a good thing. That's a really good thing.
Good. That's what I was hoping. And then I just wanted to ask about Pine Ridge Middle in the math ELA construct plans. Let me just get the right information here for you. The fall winter map testing ELA decreased from 36 to 31st percentile, and the student in the mid-16s range was 24% of students tested. What accounts for that 5% drop?
So some of that is where kids are either behind, so that the gap got larger, if you will. There could be a number of things in there. And so what each school does with those scores is takes that and goes back and looks at all of the deficient areas for kids. So they're looking at each kid individually to determine what happened. So I can't speak to it in general. There's something happened. Either we didn't cover some standards that should have been covered during that time period, or maybe we haven't hit it at the rigor and the level of where we should hit it. So there are a number of pieces that go in there, but each of these schools has spent time dissecting this information so that they're ready for the MAP test that's going on right now.
Okay, yeah, excellent. Thank you for that. And, you know, I just really want to thank all of the schools and you again, because, I mean, we can't, you know, as I'm fond of saying, you know, if you aim at nothing, you always hit it. So, I mean, we actually have goals and we're actually measuring those goals, and I just really appreciate that. You know, sometimes that's real painful. I mean, I've been in situations where it's painful, where you're not doing as well as you're hoping, but having the information is extremely meaningful, so thank you so much.
Thank you, thank you. We all come to do our best. Sometimes it does not show it, but we are working as hard as we can, and it really is truly a collaborative effort. The folks in this building, working with our principals and leadership teams, working with teachers, it really is a collaborative effort to work on these projects.
Mr. Bray?
Thank you, sir. 4 things. Number 1, quantifiable, not to copy Ms. Burkett, but the quantifiable data was awesome. So great work to all of you who did that. That is integral. Number 2, to Ms. Burkett's point, I think you may have been in the meeting as a fly or something with us yesterday or whenever, because I was harping the same thing with the ASVAB. I mean, anybody you can tell, until we can make it mandatory, please have people take the ASVAB. It is just low-hanging fruit. And I was a kid who the ASVAB, I came out of BC, very high to be a college kid. I spent a semester in college and then fell back on the ASVAB, and I don't look back at it at all. But if I would have taken that ASVAB, I would have been a fueler or something else instead of something fun that I got to do for several years. And if we don't get these kids taking the ASVAB when they're still in the mindset, it's a whole different world when you're in your third week out in the real life and you've forgotten what all this stuff means. And we didn't, as the leaders to these children, push them, guide them, shepherd them as well as we could to take the ASVAB. So public service announcement, take the ASVAB, and then take the ASVAB. And it's free. Number 3 is, I know that I'm hitting just instruction while we're here, but in the classes curriculum world, spurred from yesterday, so sorry not sending this prior, and we don't have to answer it now, but we have talked around having theater and backstage and all that kind of stuff classes here, similar to L2IC. Have we made any progress to that for next year, or is that kind of, or would you prefer get back to me type of thing? We haven't spoken on it in the last 2 or 3 times, and I want to make sure that that is something that we are keeping on the table.
That is on the table. That is a project that's ongoing, but I would give you all an update. We can get you an update on that.
Perfect. And last but not least, as we spoke of yesterday, and just to say kind of out loud, I would love us to, especially if we start having some classes here, the high school level, we have kids going to traditional high school, we have kids going to L2IC, we may have kids coming here. I want us to really understand systemically where those guidance counselors should fit. Not just because what we've always done, but where, if they are directing a kid to go to multiple buildings, do we at least need dotted lines? Do we need to move them out? How can we best structure our systems to make sure that we're doing best for the kids? And then additionally to that, how can we use data to make that job a lot easier? So, over. Or done, sorry. Wrong meeting.
Anybody else? All right, thank you.
All right, thank you all very much. And we'll bring you another update on this in June. So June will be the next board meeting. We bring you an update on this. The second item I have on my report tonight is just to share with the board that we will soon be convening a group of teachers, some parents, community members as well, to do some work around right-sizing technology use in the early grades. So we are convening a group of early educators, folks who use technology in their classroom a great deal, folks who use little technology in their classroom. Each school has identified both parents and teachers to serve in this group. Our first meeting is going to be April the 15th. We'll send this out to you all, of course, if you'd like to attend. But we will be meeting with that group for a day to talk about what other districts are doing, what other states are doing, and look at what's some right-sizing guidelines, not a hard, fast set of guidelines, but what's sort of a reasonable use expectation for technology. I think there are a lot of folks who suggest that none is the best answer. The reality is, we're required in so many ways to do things that require technology use, but we want to look for what's that right size for our kids in Lex 2, and how can we build a good plan for our teachers so that they're using the right tools at the right time in the right amount of time to help our kids be successful. So I just want to make sure you all were aware that we're opening that door and beginning to really have some good conversation and work around that. My guess is it will probably take a couple of times for us to get that product to the table.
A, thank you. B, I would love to request at least a few of those early childhood teachers have some type of, at least one bring some Montessori into it, so that kind of touch side, that whatever the word is brought to it. And then I know that's just K through 2, but I would love for that eventually to grow up through all the grades. And just kind of from a complete outsider to that world, I don't feel like we're teaching typing at an early enough age when we have all these computers in hands. It just seems to me, again, I don't know the theory behind it, but we're giving kids computers and we're not teaching them how to use it right. And so then they're functionally building really bad habits. So curriculum-wise, how we can put the typing earlier, I would love that to be addressed. That's all I have. Thank you.
Ms. Burkett?
Yeah, Dr. McDonald, I just wondered if, not tonight, because we didn't ask you ahead of time, but I wondered if next time maybe you could give us an update on the AI working group and just let us know how that's
Sure,
coming along.
that group is actually convening again next week. So they're meeting again next week, so we hope to have a good report for you by the April meeting on that, yes.
Thank you.
Be happy to.
All right, Ms. Castles?
I was just going to say thank you for taking a look at that, because certainly want them with pencils and paper again and books as much as we can, because we know there is a correlation between writing and reading and all of that that goes together for those young kids and then older. So thank you for taking a look at that. Appreciate it.
All I have.
All right, we're gonna go into operations then. I'm gonna turn it over to Mr. Warren.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, members of the board, Dr. Cooper. Happy to provide you another operations update. It's only been a few weeks since our last meeting, so not quite as lengthy, although work does continue in the operations world. A few highlights there. You see that a few more items on our facilities and maintenance team, canopy over the playground at the CEC, and then also at New Bridge. Mr. McPherson and his team got those installed. Transportation, really continue to fine tune our work there with our safety meetings, in-service training. Just wanted to kind of give you an idea of what's going on in our transportation department as Mr. Sargent continues to lead his group. We did receive some funding in safety and security through the Proviso 1.77 school safety facilities upgrades that we'll use to continue safety initiatives and supplies and things that we'll need. So we're happy to receive that grant as we received before. So student support services, a few things there. Mr. Chapman received his certification as a certified hearing officer by the National Association of Hearing Officials, and also Ms. Black's working on that as well. So congratulations to him, and excited about Ms. Black as she continues that work. And then also we celebrated School Social Worker Week, March 1st through the 7th. Appreciate very much all the work they do for our families and for our students and staff as well. And then lastly, athletics, excited that both BC and Airport will be in the Lexington County Sports-A-Rama next year. Both our high schools will be competing in that for the first time in a while. And also excited that we met about this last week, and we'll get in the rotation to host that event as well moving forward in the years to come. So excited to share that. Also have the CPIF update, continue to work on that, and we'll bring some more projects for your approval here in just a little bit, but happy to answer any questions if anybody has any.
Two things for you, sir. First is just, I don't think we can shout the accolades or the appreciation enough for the tip line. We've had some awesome wins with the tip line, and I feel like it's our responsibility to make sure we say that basically every meeting and scream it from the rooftops. Tip line saves lives, so great work that y'all set that infrastructure up, and then it's being used, so kudos to that. And then if you wouldn't mind, just for anybody who's looking at this, give a little bit of update on the BCE track, please, sir.
Yeah. Can I talk about that during CPIF?
Absolutely.
Okay, yeah, all right.
Any other questions there?
All right.
Good.
All right, so long-range plan, right? So second reading, long-range plan. So this was came to you as first reading back in February, so asking for your consideration and approval tonight for this. There is one adjustment I want to make sure you're aware of from last month to this month. We did get out and do a little more surveying in the field, and so as far as the painting schedule, the only change is that we did flip Northside and Busby Creative Arts Academy on the painting schedule. So we'll paint Northside first, and then Busby will come a little bit later. We felt pretty good about where Busby was, with their condition, but Northside needs some attention. So that was the only change from last month. Everything else is the same. So I'm just asking for your approval, and happy to answer any questions on the long-range plan.
Mr. Warren,
Yes.
are you going to go back to CPIF?
Yes, that's, CPIF is new business, so I'll do that
Okay,
next.
okay, all right. We just had it twice, okay.
We just had it twice, yeah.
Okay, just want to make sure. Okay, Mr. Chairman, I make a motion that we move that we accept the administration's second reading for the long-range plan.
Second.
Had a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. All right, we're gonna move into new business, and I'm gonna keep it over for Mr. Warren with the CPIF.
Yep, so this is our first reading of our CPI plan for 2026, 2027. We'll bring to you a second reading next month for approval per board policy. Just hitting a few things here, our annual Chromebook refresh. We will not be doing an iPad refresh for next year, so you do not see that on here. That's something that typically you see on this plan, but not for next year. And then, cameras and access controls and all that is on there as normal, Mr. Hauser, and some things we need to continue to monitor and continue to upgrade with our technology team. For the CPIF items, metal detector, another one for BC. Those things are pricey, so you see that on here. It's about $20,000 to $22,000 right in there with tax. So that'll get us another one of the weapons detectors, open gate systems for BC. The track expansion, I want to speak to that a little bit, Mr. Bray, that you asked about. So we put this on here. This has been going on for a little while, just looking at the possibilities of taking BC's current track and making it an actual 400-meter track. Right now, it's about 350 meters. Since we put this on the plan, we have had some surveying done. We've engaged with an architect on that, just kind of evaluating that, looking at that. We felt like we had a good opportunity possibly to make that happen, but honestly just got some feedback this week that we just don't have the space to make that work. Once we got the survey back and looked at it, I've talked to Coach Clybert at BC, and just from the recommendation of architect, just feel like we're gonna need to not take that project on. What I'm asking to do now with this CPIF money is we'll go ahead and resurface that track as we had planned to do previously, because that needs to be done. The school obviously uses that, trains that. BC has a very good track program, so we'll do that work, with this funding, and then anything additional, and I'll add this to our second reading for next month, any additional funds there. We need to do some work at BC's baseball outfield, some drainage issues they've had here recently, so want to approach that with some funds and make that a little better for the school. But just, like I said, it's kind of been a work in progress, but got that feedback this week that the space is just not there to make that a 400-meter track. And that's unfortunate, but that's just reality, so that's why I want to go ahead and bring that to your attention. And then the other things you see on here as part of our long-range plan, the Saluda River roofing will be captured here, and also some flooring. We need some new lawnmowers for our facilities and maintenance team, as we cut the grass at all the schools in our district, so that's replacing 2 lawnmowers. And then our gym floor maintenance that we do, Mr. McPherson's team does every year at our middle schools and high schools. And then lastly, what we're looking to do, like we've talked about, is take $9 million of our CPI funding and apply that towards the Congreve Elementary replacement. So that's what that $9 million is there for, is to go towards funding that project. And then a contingency amount that we have, not very much there, but will cover and offset anything that may go over and beyond original estimates. So happy to answer any questions. Providing more kind of clarification if need be.
Any questions? Ms. Castles?
I don't have a question, but I saw this come through this week, and I thought, talking about the track at BC, and I'm like, that's exciting, because I remember about 5 years ago, we researched this and could not figure out how there was any, but I'm glad it's getting resurfaced for the kids. So.
Yeah, I think when it originally came up, they were looking at doing 6 lanes, and then so we talked about, like, can we just do 4? And, we thought we had an opportunity there, but then just got some feedback this week that it just wasn't doable, so.
Ms. Rucker?
Can you just remind me which device we're not doing the refresh on?
That's iPads.
iPads,
K
okay.
through 2.
Got it, okay, thank you.
Mr. Bray?
I would love a little more detail on the track. Is that to include removing the bleachers? We still can't make it work?
Well, it would most likely force us to remove the bleachers and also relocate the lights back where the light poles are, which would be a tremendous expense to move those lights. So, you know, not saying it's not feasible, you know, ever, but it would be a substantial project that would require a lot more funding than what is allocated here. And like I said, really wanted to make it happen, and the experts looked at it and looked at the survey results and just said, you know, this is going to be a very impactful project, not just to the track, but also the surrounding area with the track and where the lights fit. The lights are, the ticket building, all those would have to be moved or come down.
Completely get it, and I'm sure the experts definitely know more than I do. It does make me wonder, though, those bleachers are rarely used. The ticket building is never used. Those lights are rarely used, especially when you have an artificial turf field. Majority of the practice is there or on the back of the baseball field. So I completely get it. I just think we might want to look at, like, it's not going to, you know, I feel like it's probably tough to even maintain that field because of how little it really gets used. I mean, UCPE classes using it, and a little bit of soccer come springtime, but I think it might be time to zoom out and try to kind of clean up that whole. Those lights are going to have to move sometime. They're not going to be effective for a field ever. They're not going to be effective for a track ever. If we're going to bite the bullet, I don't see another time to bite the bullet, and I think it's something we should really. I don't want to just to punt after one no. Let's get 3 no's and really make sure that's going to fit in the long. Because if we're not doing a track there, if we're just resurfacing that track, I'm not a track person, but that track's awful to run on. It's just, even if you resurface it, you still have the drains that are next to it. I don't know if someone has never died falling in one of those drains, and you can't really have a meet. So I don't want us just to put a Band-Aid on something that's not very effective.
No, I hear you, and I don't really, I mean, I appreciate that. I don't really view it as a Band-Aid, and it'll be, you know, well done. It'll be resurfaced. Of course, they practice out there, do a lot of work training out there. We've talked to Coach Clyburn a little bit, and even doing the markings where, you know, you can still run the 400, still run the 200, and, you know, they really need a place to be able to train and practice. So want to maintain that. But I hear you. It's something we can continue to kind of look at with the big picture and see what's possible on down the road. But in terms of right now with what we're looking at, you know, doing, it's really, in my opinion, and talking to our design professionals, our best bet to, you know, resurface it, do it well, and then make sure that it's in good condition and good shape for our kids to train and practice on, you know, in the meantime.
Do we need to make an amendment at all, or since this is first reading, just let it fly and be ready for the second reading to have a change? I think the second one's fine.
Yeah, I'll bring in an amended one in April.
Good job.
Let me make a motion then. We need a motion, right?
I think you did.
Yeah, we have a motion in a second.
We didn't make one, no.
We ain't made a motion yet.
Yeah, we hadn't had a motion.
Wait, what?
Yeah, we didn't, not on the CP.
Long-range plan, oh,
Yeah,
now we're-
okay,
yeah,
that's
you're
where I
right.
was getting, yeah, because it was
You're
on there
Oh,
twice.
back to back, yeah.
Yeah, okay, so, Mr. Chairman, I make a motion that we accept the administration's recommendation for first reading of the 2027 CPIF.
Second.
Had a motion and a second. Any more discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. All right, we're gonna move on into still in new business, and we're in consideration of first reading of proposed revision board policy IHAM, health education.
Mr. Chairman, and Dr. Cooper, if there is no objection, I would like to move that we go ahead and make first and second reading tonight of proposed revisions to board policy IHAM, health education, under administration recommendations BG-BGD, board policy under special circumstances.
Second.
All right, had a motion and a second. Any discussion on that?
The only discussion, yes, I do. Only discussion I have is we had public comment that was, I thought, very valuable about having some examples. Doesn't need to be in the policy level, but on the administrative level, being able to have some true kind of like frequently asked questions, or this is what we see as left of gray and right of gray at the administrative level, I think could solve a whole bunch of issues in the future. So I don't think we need an AR for it. I definitely don't think we need to alter policy for it, but I definitely think it's something that we need to have at the admin level.
All right, any more discussion? All right, all in favor, say aye. Aye. All right, motion carries. Okay, we're gonna move on into our calendar change regarding March 16th, 2026 inclement weather closure. Who's gonna take this one? Dr. McDonald.
All right, Mr. Chairman, as you all are aware, we missed a day of school this week for inclement weather, and the memo that I prepared for you all provides you with your options to consider tonight with regard to that makeup day. Since that was a typical school day, we will have to make it up by not using the e-learning. Of course, we now have a situation where we don't have any makeup days left. The state law stipulates that we have to build in 3 makeup days into our calendar each year. All 3 of those have passed, so we are not able to make it up. So essentially, you have basically 3 options of how to make up that missed school day, which include number 1, we could extend May 21st and 22nd to be full instructional days as opposed to half days. Option 2 is to add an additional day to the school year calendar. Our recommendation would be that you consider either April the 3rd or May 26th. Those would be the 2 days that we have available to do that. Or option 3, because our makeup days are either used or now passed, you may request that the State Department of Education waive that day. You have the ability under state statute to forgive up to 3 days. In order to do that, you have to discuss that tonight. That will have to be voted on by this board, and then we will submit those minutes and requests to the State Department of Education to ask them to forgive that day.
You want a motion on what we want?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I hope I'm going with what everybody wants, because I didn't get the memo, so. So I'm gonna make y'all just bear with me, you can amend it, but, I'm gonna make a motion that we,
Flip a coin.
no, we're gonna go with option, number 3, where we wanna go to the State Department of Education and ask for a waiver. Yeah.
Yep, there we are.
Right, yeah.
Was that your motion?
Yes.
And second.
Yes.
Oh, we had a motion and a second. Any discussion on that?
Well,
Ms.
just to
Burkett?
mention, I didn't get this information.
I didn't either.
I don't think Ms. Castles did.
It's on diligent, there's not a hard.
Okay, gotcha,
Okay.
gotcha. Okay,
I sent an email saying that it had been uploaded to diligent.
okay.
Okay.
Sorry, I just, that,
And yes, I realized it once everybody started looking.
So do we need to have any discussion about it?
We can just.
I'm just asking.
Yes.
Yeah.
Anybody got any pros and cons?
I mean, to me, adding something to the 21st or 22nd of May is just, you're just checking the block. And we don't need to be here checking the block.
And
3
there
is
is-
fine.
it's
2
Good Friday.
Yeah,
April 3rd is
2
Good
is Good
Friday.
Friday, and that's the only time that we would really get good instruction. So, my comment, I'm fine with 3. But I know we've already scheduled most of our next 2 years' worth, but with the new rules around wind and buses, and spring being the windiest time, I think we need to be a little more strategic about having our dates not on Good Friday and towards the end of spring break world versus all by March 15th. And that's for all of us. Those rules used to not be in place, so I think that's something we should definitely bring back in the next 1 or 2 meetings to see if our dates for makeup make any sense in the future.
I would agree with that. We're seeing more and more of this, and it's getting more challenging, so having some other options some better options in the future might help us.
Any other discussion? Ms. Burkett?
No, I'm just listening.
All right. Oh, we had a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All right, motion carries.
We will submit that to the State Department after your next meeting where you approve your minutes. We will then submit that to the State Department for their consideration.
Now we're gonna go into,
Real quick, if we have to wait till after the next meeting, can we get can we push for a pre-approval? Because that is putting us in a spot where our only option is May 21, 22, and that that puts us in a bit of a corner. Is there any way to expedite that?
Requires an approved set of minutes, so which would be your next meeting, the approval of the minutes.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Well, we got some out-of-state travel.
Yeah. All right, Mr. Chairman, if no objection, I'm going to combine D and E on new business, and I make a motion that we approve the consideration of out-of-state overnight student travel request from Brooklyn Casey High School, and that we approve the consideration of one out-of-state overnight staff travel request from Brooklyn Casey High School administrator to attend the annual conference in Orlando, Florida.
Had a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. All right, that's going to move us into our announcements, and we'll start off March 29th is the Brooklyn Casey Bearcat Club Oyster Roast. That's from 4 to 7. April 3rd is spring break. April 3rd through 10th is spring break. April 21st is interims issued, and April 23rd is the junior scholars reception in the PAC Center at 5:15. April 23rd is our next monthly meeting of the Board of Trustees here in district office at 6 o'clock. And that concludes all of our announcements.
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion that the Board of Trustees enter closed session for the following: receipt of legal advice regarding Board Policy BEDH, public participation, consideration of personnel appointments, retirements and resignations, consideration of personnel reappointments, and the new Congaree Elementary project status update.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
We are in executive. Thank y'all for coming.
I make a motion that the meeting be reconvened in open session and the appropriate affidavit executed.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All right, we're back in open.
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion that we accept the administration's recommendations for 25-26 resignations, certified and support new hires and appointments, and also appointments for temporary, part-time, and hourly employees.
Second.
Motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion that we accept the administration's recommendation for certified reappointments for the 26-27 school year.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Motion carries.
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion that we accept the administration's recommendation for candidate A to be the new principal at Wood Elementary.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye. Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Adjourn.